Face to face. This is a Lithuanian video, but I'm still gonna drag everyone into this. I will translate as much as possible. These are two most powerful Lithuanians right now sitting face to face. And I got to face with, I mean, one of these people, bro. I'm fighting my neighbors so they stop making noise, basically, because it's too much. And they don't care. In fact, they actually encouraged other neighbors to pitch in and get in trouble as much as they are in, just to see how that problem gets solved. Whether they, just get a fine, a slap on their wrist, and it's like they threw themselves into the fire, basically. And this is what happened today. A dude fucking opens up the door, treating me with a baseball bat. Oh, wow, how big that weapon is. And you have it. And when I call police, they don't just come in, barge in and confiscate that weapon, because you're not supposed to show weapons, okay, when it's not appropriate, right? Because it's a threat. You're threatening my life. That you're threatening that you have more power and weapons to be able to solve problems in an inappropriate manner. And police didn't fucking get that in their skulls, actually. Didn't visit them. Didn't visit them for a fucking noise complaint that I was making at the time, because, oh shit, it's 30 minutes too early and we don't really respond to noise complaints if child is involved. I mean, for fuck's sake, these people are insane. My country is in turmoil and probably has some kind of child religion going on. Some kind of boss baby going on religion. Like, literally, where children are valued more than the adults around that are actual real threats and the actual real drama that should be solved, But nah, they found something to cling on. They found something valuable that's technically going extinct. Like, people don't want to have children, but they don't want to have children for a reason. Because you fucking subscribing to the most ridiculous religion ever, where you're treating useless creatures as the most holiest thing that can just run around and scream. Run around and scream. They can do that. No adult in the fucking universe would be able to just run around and scream without being a little bitch about it, But here we go. I don't know what's growing up there. What are they playing? They're not talking to me. They showing me baseball bat because they might not even know how to fucking talk. So that's what I face to face with. This is the translation of this. Eye to an eye, technically, but this is our way to say face to face. That's how it would translate. These are two most powerful people in Lithuania for me personally. This guy has been around forever. This guy has gotten into the heatest drama in the most recent times. All right, this guy exists in the moment, and this guy exists across time and space, bro. Across the best, like, he holds the best memories of Lithuania. He just holds the most strength and resistance to Russian propaganda, basically. And now they're gonna talk to each other, basically. They care about their own things, right? And it's very interesting how they're gonna conflict a little bit, what they're gonna push into into the public collectively, what they're gonna agree on and disagree on. All of this is gonna be fucking tremendous, bro. This is a treat. Especially after I uploaded, something that's just brewing out of control. 100 views per hour? That is pretty hardcore video. People are resonating with my absolute anger that we run out of talent. Like, we should panic. We have run out of talent to put into Eurovision. We're gonna make shitty history because of that, and we have to supplement with something. So I'm throwing my fit into this nonsense, basically. I don't want to hear no sad songs. We gotta just do better, This literally, I show speed watching, and I think he liked only one song, is like Cha Cha Cha, bro. Like, this guy is the beast, bro, of Eurovision, and it's already like 1 year old song. We didn't quite get the same energy the latest year, you know? I might be able to deliver that fucking energy. I don't know. I'm actually proposing myself as the talent. If you really ran out of talent, you should be panicking and trying to, like, test me. And maybe many others will be like, yeah, okay, test me. If you give me equipment of, like, music that I ask for, the visuals that I ask for, the costumes that I ask, there's a lot of fucking shit going on into being and performing for Eurovision. Like, they have to prep me, you know? They have to give me things so I can actually show my talent full force. And it's just something that, because it's so difficult, because it involves other people's consent, usually, if it's not your path to success, if you're looking for other talents and avenues, my actual avenue is not singing. I can do it. It's not singing, though. What I actually propose is that I can make a card game that's better than any card game that exists right now in the market. I can make a better card game in 20, 30 times less time, you know, and budget. I mean, it's crazy numbers, basically, but I propose it. I'm doing it. It's happening. As long as I'm not stressed, I'm doing a pretty good job just, you know, pushing my card game. Now, there's some big numbers here going on, but none of these are Pokia numbers. This is how I call my game, and it's gonna, you know, come out within the span of this year. You'll be able to play it as well. It's free. You get the idea, right? I just want to flex my power level. My real skills is programming, but I also can sing, so, you know, if you really need it, you can try. Without fucking intimidating me, of course. Yeah, you can try and squeeze that out of me. I don't know if it works. All right, because again, it's a combined effort. This is why, like, Eurovision is a little bit more than you would think, because it's a combined effort to put a person on stage, and they have to do a good job. But there's a lot of job that already has been done, already prepped. The visuals alone fucking tell half of the story, half of the quality. And, like, if we don't push a music video, that's all we're gonna get. All we're gonna get is this fucking sad boy on stage. Like, it's crazy. And I don't want to associate with war or anything. We have to associate with resistance and power, basically. We have to intimidate Russians to not fucking touch us whatsoever if we want to, like, genuinely be respected and have a chance to win Eurovision at some point. For fuck's sake, don't we want to do that? Don't we want to make real history here? So, history is being made right now. I bumped into this video because the universe just throws it on my lap, and I'm like, yeah, maybe you know what you're talking about. Obviously, universe is, you know, an algorithm. Maybe they realize, YouTube is realizing that a lot of Lithuanians are associating with my content. They're talking to me in that language, and it's like, yeah, maybe we're gonna recommend one of these. You know, you watch these podcasts, but honestly, this is a pretty fucking juicy one, and I might not take back my words of, like, these two most powerful people in my country right now. So let's see what they have to say, because they are a little bit smarter than me, but I'm smart enough to translate their words just a little bit more, so it actually hits you as well, not just me, right? That they're smart, they can hit me, but I want to make sure that everyone hears those smart people's words, okay?
Bet aš sakysiu lietuviškas Markas Tvenas, nors
Čia
šiaip
ne
jisai
lietuviškai, čia
yra...
rusiškai.
Pakalbėkime apie...
Whatever the fuck the context of this, because I don't know, but it just shows that this drama guy who just jumped into hot waters and is being looked at as sus, you know, like, what is he yapping, you know? It's a mystery. Because if you're under drama and it's not, like, fully solved, like, let me explain the drama, right? So his spicy words is to say that people who make noise, Russians in particular, who blast Russian music should be pretty much executed slowly, you know? We take their children. Do you stop your behavior? No. And then execute it eventually. Those were the spicy words that probably were taken out of context. I don't think people understood what was being said. We have Russians, we have Russian invasion potentially. They're gonna fucking do some stupid shit. And we cannot, if a Russian does stupid shit in our country, we should just completely negate that. You know, solve that problem by force, whatever it takes. We cannot let Russian propaganda fucking manifest in any way. And I completely go behind that. However, my problem that I'm suffering from is that you can become Russian. You can just become Russian by adopting principles that you should not have adopted as a European, basically. And right now, my neighbors are doing exactly that. Because I haven't revealed my face for like a year, I can wear this mask. All right, over 10 years, I don't think. No, over like 5 years, I haven't revealed my face. I can be anonymous now. So let me tell you guys the clues of if someone is Russian or not, because it's all about culture, right? Russian culture is about fear. And what my neighbor does by picking up a weapon, a bigger weapon, is trying to provoke fear into me. So the problem is at least delayed. He shows the weapons that he has and attempts to intimidate me with those weapons, right? The biggest talking points of all time is always, I have nukes and we can just nuke the entire world into dust. I mean, that's the talking point that Russia has. Like, it's enough nukes to destroy everything and we have to treat them with respect and all that shit. It's provocation of fear, and surrender to fear is also manifestation of Russian cultures. That one thing is it. It's almost, it almost feels like Russian is a jumbled mess of a language as well. A little bit twisted, a little bit weird characters in there. It's not as weird as Chinese language, but it's weird enough where you just want to speak it louder and more obnoxious and care less about the other person, basically. You want to have more power. And it's across the world. The harder your life is, the more power you want to have over other people so you can solve the goddamn problems, you know, eventually. You don't swim in it. You get out because you have power to solve problems. And Russians definitely have to solve fear a lot. And unfortunately, it came to a time where Russians are so intimidated to flex and show their weapons in combat that they were actually convinced to go to Ukraine and attack. They were convinced. Because Russians can do whatever they want. They have more freedom than most places in the world. In Russia, you have a lot of freedom. That doesn't mean that it's good. It's anarchy, you know, but money rules, basically. As long as you have money, you have proof that you are a reasonable person, right? And you deserve freedom. You deserve to just run away from your crimes in case something happened, right? But you can still, because it's an anarchy, you can be hunted down by other people. So you probably don't want to stay in the fucking same place doing your crimes. And even better is to not do crimes, is to use freedom for the sake of freedom and actually fight fear itself, the most respectable thing, right? Then you have like these extrasensory people. Russia is a weird culture, all right? And we need that context, and I have made a specific video for that. That might still need an update. Modern survival guide. I say most of the same things, but I use a little bit of a context of a dude that just was a Russian and grew up Russian and grew up poorer, you know, and more provocative conditions of life, less privileged life. I live in privilege, okay? For me, seeing a baseball bat is like, wow, okay, that's something new. I'm not supposed to fear because, again, fear is allowing Russian culture to flourish. We're not supposed to do that in Europe. But now you presented something fearful. So now I have to tackle that. There's a baseball bat. Okay, these people are violent. They're threatening me, right? So now I have to disarm them somehow. Until I disarm them, they are dangerous. And we have to carefully fucking figure out what to do about it, because all they're gonna think about is that they have weapons and they can just defend themselves and they don't have to give a fuck about other people. That is a very disgusting ideology, and a person literally in my eyes is turning Russian. They might not speak the language, they might not know the culture, they might not have Russian friends or listen to the music, but they are Russian because they are propagating fear. They hope that fear will solve me as a problem, because I will also surrender to fear and let them do just nasty things to me personally, because I'm the one being affected after all. So I'm taking this as a face-to-face moment that I have to fucking survive through. It's like, okay, it's my responsibility, apparently. I can't just sit here in my privileged life. Gotta tackle this really nasty issue, by the way. Is this the issue of not being able to hold a conversation that's meaningful and solves problems? Nah. If you can't do that, if we cannot find common ground when it's necessary, that's also speaking Russian. Gibberish. All right? Russian is gibberish, is more like a self-esteem language than actually something that makes any sense. That's how I feel about it. Change my mind, okay? But I feel like we're gonna have a very similar grounds with this guy who, been around in this culture and just can't stomach it anymore and just wants to talk about it, vomit it out of his system. The war has started. He cannot stomach Russian culture anymore. He wants it dead. That's why he's in the middle of drama. I think I explained 100% of the context that's going on right now with this guy. This guy lives in a memory world where I still have watched a lot of shows, bro. This guy's the celebrity, the A-listed celebrity, I think. Because he has been around for so long, he has collected followers without even a number attached to him until now. Now he has a number, he has a fucking YouTube channel. I'm obligated to subscribe. It might not fucking last, but like I'm obligated to click the button so we get to like 10,000 faster. Because this guy is A-listed celebrity. He has almost 10,000 followers without even like being a YouTuber or whatever. The guy has been in a quiz show, many quiz shows. I know at least 3 of them. One of the oldest one is this one. This is the most nostalgic one. That we all share memories collectively with other people, like the greatest quiz show ever, right? That kind of got a little bit too complicated and just kind of fell off. Like trying to check people's heartbeat and all that was a little. It started to get a little bit creepy, I would say. But a very long running show. Another nostalgic thing is like Road to the Stars. If you translate, because we don't speak like this, okay? We say Kales Žvaigždės. Žvaigždės. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we say some. It's a weird word to say žvaigždė. So like we barely even understand the concept, I guess. We have like celebrities who just been around forever, and those are the stars because they make us nostalgic. Nostalgia is also like, it's scary, like when Putin sits down and talking about history. Yeah, he cares about nostalgia quite a bit. It really scares me when people attach to nostalgia. But it's nice to have a person who can bring you that nostalgia, and it's like respect. Like I'll listen to you because of all these things that you did. I think this is gonna be a good interaction all the way across, right? So Road to the Star was actually like super duper popular thing, and it also paved the way Like, everyone talked about it at school. Everyone was in on this. And I was glued to the screen. I was just looking. I'm like, oh, wow. They just create songs and compete every time. Every week they have to like make a new song, compete with those songs. Like it's kind of genius in a way. I don't think I've bumped into anything quite like this. Like Beast Games is nothing like a test of skill, that we would all crave for. We would all want people just sit down, make a song, just show you creative juice of what you can do. Right? Maybe something good will come out of it because usually when you just keep making things, it works. Just keep doing things until you hit the spot, until you get to the closest point of achieving something. I do like that idea that we have been electing celebrities in a correct manner, and we got some good stuff out of it, We never really rebooted the series, I don't think. Maybe we got close to it, but we just kind of adopted the Western bullshit of X Factor, The Voice, like all this shit that we had our own fucking Road to the Stars thing going on, and we lost it. So we lost a lot of history that just kind of sunk into this man that was, a part of it. He even got to be politician at one point. God knows what the fuck was that, but he made some good memes, okay? People had fun with that shit. And still to this day, like 2021, I saw his show, like Golden Minds. I had to, I was glued to television against my own will, but he was still around, which is crazy. So many years passing, and this guy is not being dethroned. He's just there. So two super respectable people, face to face. I'm excited.
Rusiškai. Pakalbėkime apie Samuelį Klemensą.
Let's talk about this random guy.
Aš nežinau.
I don't know that guy. This guy wants to bring up culture, and this guy wants to talk about Russia, basically, to hopefully kill it somehow.
Siūlei rusifikuotus
They immediately go for that cringe moment.
lietuvių baidlo neturi tautybės. Jeigu
I like the word maroz, okay? I don't know how to translate these like slang words, but maroz is something that people can understand. The streets fucking scumbag, basically. And they brewing under my feet right now. It's crazy. I'm walking all over them every time I fucking step foot in my room, basically, because that's where the epicenter of all the noise is, like below me. It's all for me. No one else cares whatsoever. It's just me. Which is the proof of just how strong I'm actually am, because this has been lasting for a year, and I'm just slowly like peeling off the layers of this nonsense. So what this guy says is that these scumbags don't have nationality. You don't have nationality, and it's so true. If you Russify yourself, what you're gonna end up with is become a part of the biggest country in the world. Meaning that it has a lot of meaningless lands that cannot call themselves countries. They would split themselves off of Russia. They have different cultures, and they don't do that. It's just big land mass that will suck you in because you don't have a nationality anymore. You don't respect European culture, which is to have nationality, to have distinct respect to your culture and all that shit, right? Clearly, because you don't speak language, you speak threats. You speak fear, and that's completely different language. That's a language that's visible for everyone. It doesn't necessarily have a language barrier anymore. So you don't have a barrier for language, might as well be a Russian. Perfectly said, and I'm already like stunned by this.
žmogus
Just one line of him explaining exactly what he meant with his drama, right?
klauskas, kaip kalba žmogus.
This guy brings up another point. There are censors, right? He has his own particular word for it. And specific words that's so hard to translate. He gives me a hard time right now. And people who just genuinely flourish language, right? Who work on language. Whatever this guy says, like if it's an interesting word, you put it down in a dictionary, in a definition, and don't think twice. Censors are trying to remove words from dictionary, and it's like, bro, that's not how life works. Whatever will die naturally anyways. Will be replaced by better things anyways. You don't have to kill things on purpose. You can just keep moving forwards. But if you have nothing to, contribute to society, you'll be killing things. If you keep adding words, it cannot be done infinitely. You can't just keep on adding things and hoping that it's going to give you a better result every single time. But if you flourish it, like, things gonna die. Things gonna be replaced. There's no need for censorship. Every single time you're faced with criticism, the best principle to think is that the enemy could have said the same things, criticized you in a positive way, in a constructive way. They could have done better. And if you don't like it, if you take it as an insult, you can just block them forever. Censors are not respectable people. People who create things genuinely find things interesting are just better. They're not as evil, If you can't do nothing but censorship, yeah, that's fine. But don't forget, you are evil and you will be treated as such. I don't want to waste too much time on it, but we move on, right?
Mes internete ar portale, nežinau, šiaip vadina podcastais, ko aš labai nemėgstu, tai tiesiog yra tinklalaidė.
Well, is he trying to say that this is not a video or podcast? This is more like net show. What? I don't know. A podcast is a lot of things. And I mean, this is literally Joe Rogan's style, right? Face to face. If you're not showing any additional graphics, if you're just talking to a person, technically it's the most basic podcast there is, and there's no way out of this, bro. One is Arunas, another one is Algis. This one is Arunas, okay? There's no way out of this, bro. It's podcast.
Vyrai prisipažįsta meiliai. Ir pasako, kad tave myli.
What the fuck, bro? This guy said, I love this guy, that other guy. And it's like, does it often happen that people just confess to love? Okay. It's very specific. Basically, we started with gay shit.
Nėra buvę, bet tai aš
Kaip jautiesi?
mano
It never happened. How do you feel? Fucking weird, bro. What is happening? It's kind of a weird atmosphere, I'm not gonna lie. Because these are two most powerful people where it's just like, don't we just love each other, And it's like, yeah, I understand. I understand where this is going,
Jautiesi? Jau tavęs
Oh my god. He in the weirdest way called him out as gay, and it's like, wow. And it's like you're probably gay and you're attracted to someone who's not even good looking. It's fucking crazy, bro.
nekadrino, kai negražaus, tai
The battle begins, bro.
mes
Fucking bro is sold out for 3 times now. Look, I have unusual glasses. And then says the firm, look, we are in an unusual location. And then says the brand's name, basically. He already sold us drinks, basically. What? 3 sponsors in under 6 minutes. It's a world record, guys.
tai kokie jas
It's so crazy, bro. They're not yet connected, bro. They're so disconnected. Because even I don't respect them to talk nice to each other right now. All of this is distorted.
planai.
Yeah, so he sold these bottles. He sold this place as a hotel or whatever, and sold his glasses, bro. Soon there will be nothing left to sell
Kauskas,
anymore.
Agnė Sabulytė.
Guys, I'm using unusual websites. This is google.com right now. All right, please visit it, and you can find all these images and stuff. It's great for searching for things. use my referral link of google.com/Gurunext. Let's go, bro. Easy. Give me money. Money now.
Ir
Bro. So this guy, first real question is to be nostalgic and bring back someone into childhood of like 3 years old child. Very provocative. Like, it's literally his personality, to do that.
paralelinė vaikystė. Nu jo.
The fact that childhood comes back, that the habits, good habits, they never really die. The best habit that never really died in my childhood is that I wanted to make games. I was making the entertainment for my friends. I was pushing that of trying to find what's entertaining to me, and maybe it translates for them as well. But at some point, it stopped translating it because we're just fighting imaginary monsters. I'm not really into like coming up with like cool shit to do and cool places to go. I just hang out with my friends. It's like, hey, kill this bee, basically. Yeah, smash the air, punch the air. And at some point, it was too embarrassing to hang out with me, and it all fell apart. But for a very long time, I'm just like the guy who makes games, to the point where it just translated into, this flex. I mean, it's in real time happening where I'll be flexing my power level of making games, the games that I wanted, the games that actually would translate into the real world, into physical material of like cards, right? Playing card games, it never really evolved properly. We had Yu-Gi-Oh! Some people had Pokemon cards. It all was trash because they were overly complicated or overly simple at the same time. Technically, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is simple and complicated at the same time. It's complicated because it's simple, and Pokemon is complicated because it's simple. Isn't that the same thing? It is simple because it wants to like progressively become complicated, which is actually pretty. But because Pokemon starts off so simple, it never really caught on. It's too, childish or girly activity to do Pokemon, So there were like two types of card games. There were Legos, right? That was my childhood. I picked up cards real fast. I never let go of my cards. Well, I had to let go of my friends, unfortunately. All right.
Tai gerai, kad kaip
So you can tell I will try to answer some cool questions to try and relate to what's going on.
su
His answer not so
rock
interesting.
and roll. Jis leidėjai tokius.
Yeah, he is a troublemaker for sure. Very provocative man, I'm not gonna lie. And he loves bathing in drama when it is happening. It's like a roller coaster of drama. That's how you do it. In case you have nothing to do, basically. Start drama, bathe in drama, start drama, bathe in drama, basically. Talk in very vulgar language and create your own words to kind of like insult people in your newly invented words. Like, very interesting stuff going on.
Išvadyti
It's kind of one of those sociopathic moves to keep poking everyone, basically. Because you have a genuine need to, I don't know, have conversation, have drama, as long as it's healthy, right?
Mes čia,
Yeah, he literally explains this is how society works. Western culture has already accepted these like ways of life to create little tiny drama, and whoever makes a big deal out of it, whoever turns it into cancel culture. I mean, these people are just lame, I would say. Everyone knows that is lame. They get exposed, but they get to play their game, They create their cancel culture and they try to keep it alive of like, no, this really means a lot to me and all that shit, So Western world has it and it's disgusting, and somehow he missed that point, I guess. But it's like it's less harmful, I guess. It's more like a privileged thing to even have a society in the first place. I love this, by the way. I mean, it's going smoothly. There's nothing that I can tackle right now with just like introducing Algis, right? In a non-dramatic thing, just like his little history, right? The wedding, the other side, or significant other, right? We have the television start. Shit, this just slipped, but it just didn't seem significant. Rowing.
Nors iš tiesų
And now, after history, we have that drama moment. All right, let's see if there's additional insight going on here.
pasakymas buvo
This is like Tetris. I've made this game in like a fucking day, and it's just like amazing. Because it's hard. It's like juggling.
žinoti, vat, man su didžiausia pagarba žiūriu, ką Billie Eilish daro.
Fucking hell, bro. Billie Eilish fan. Bro, we have to deport him into Russia. I don't respect him anymore.
Bet ir netgi turiu vieną. Tu gali iššauti tokį, kuris užsakė ir jį nušauti, bet tai nebūtų...
So, hypothetical problematic thing has been given as a plate of like, what would you do in a certain situation? And it's like, well, I'd do normal things. I would film and talk to administration, right? So I kind of have to do these moves, unfortunately. I'm on that step right now. Well, whatever hypothetical problem is being solved, I gotta do it. Film the guy. Put it on TikTok. Imagine that, bro. I don't have to reveal my face, but there's a fucking dude who got it, Just willing to do that shit. Filming something like this, like capturing it, is fucking priceless. However, because of social media, it's actually quite dangerous to do that. Things have changed, right? Like right now, it's the last years of capitalism. It's the last years of like exposing people as bad guys. Right now, people would actually pick two sides. Side of entertainment, which would be like bad for me, because they would side with evil to make things more entertaining. Just bones have to break. People have to go to hospital for their entertainment, for their appeasement. There's people like that. And there's people that would attempt to fight this, attempt to do something, but at the same time wouldn't actually put enough effort. So it would kind of be cringe of them trying to stomach the situation that's going on while at the same time disassociating, because it's kind of like they can't do much about it. Social media is actually like a little bit more twisted right now than ever before. Just posting something, publicizing something is not exactly the same effect as in the past. So filming just to put it on social media is not actually a useful thing. It's still good for evidence, of course. I hold evidence against you and I can blackmail you to be a little bit nicer to me. How about that? Blackmail you that you have the item that probably should be confiscated first before any conversation would be engaged by law enforcement and all that. What really spiced me up for the drama that what he was into, he said the first thing is confiscate their children. And it's like the most obvious shit to fucking do right now. People who make a lot of noise or whose children make a lot of noise, that shit should be confiscated, because children have to remain respectful. That's like the most powerful version of a child. That's the most reasonable and lovable, right? And not respectful child, they are nuisance and disturb other people's lives who are way more important than a fucking child's life. This is why I brought up the religion of children and how it's easy to actually twist it and suddenly treat children way better than the actual threat in your life of treating other people who have power as trash. I mean, that's disgusting. I have not unleashed my power, and I don't want to speak this way, but like the moment I actually have weight, social weight against everyone around me, will obviously have to use it as revenge until, I'm free of shackles and I'm a new man all of a sudden. It's possible. It's so close. You can feel it, right? I'm getting viral moments and at the same time preparing my cannonball move, which would be way better than just putting something on TikTok and making a meme out of it, because, I'm in trouble, and nobody really wants to like pitch in. Like no neighbors actually step in and actually put a punch, which is all it takes, you know? Just double up my power, put a punch, come up with a good strategy. Now I have to, you know, actually invite commandants. Commandant, this whole apartment complex. Come in, let me tell the whole story. We have to strategize what to do next because this is now getting serious. And unless you have some special tools and special fucking ops, basically, operators, not opponents, but operators, special ops. Unless you have that shit going on for you, we're gonna run out of moves very quickly. But for now, we can just like fully develop the story of what's going on, fully get the perspective, and attempt to involve other people. That's the next move right now. It's Warzone, bro. My life is a Warzone because I'm a person who did not do anything wrong. The only thing that I can be accused of is being a couch potato, you know, where I have to actually retaliate against evil itself and prove that I am strong couch potato and I deserve to be couch potato for next, you know, generation to come. But very likely I am not. And not only I will prove to be a good couch potato, but will retaliate a lot more than that. Because just like this guy says, I'm behind him and I need it. I need what he said to be able to use it as a weapon against the opponents who decide that they want to escalate things instead of attempting to solve those things. I don't know why. Their brains are so rotten to the core. They're afraid of every single confrontation and treats it as an angry moment. I provoke them to do that, but they accept that. And that's not something I like. I provoke. I'm not going to tell you how. It's very easy. It's an introduction of myself differently. Would be provocative, right? Than anyone else. Doing something different than what everyone else is doing can be incredibly provocative. Throw someone off and they have to like pick up something out of their arsenal, whether it's giving up or it would feel like giving up or just, you know, flexing their weapons. What we were talking about,
Neteisinga,
I already fucking lost.
neteisėta.
Į
No,
klasiką
it is the situation that kind of aligns, right? It's parallel with my problem right now. What do you do if Russian does Russian things, you know? If Russian's spreading his basically corruption in a restaurant, well, I try to film him, you know, it's not acceptable here. In the social media age, you have to show that you are a tough person. And I'm not disclosing my face, you know? I don't want that to happen. It's just my brand to not do that. If I get into a fight or I lose control of my phone, like, all of a sudden I'm just exposed and being laughed at, and it's like, what? And I definitely don't have the power of couch potato to just, you know, go into a battle, no matter what it is, right?
O ten pradė, žinai,
It would be very valuable if police actually, you know, conjoined forces and actually put a camera. While there's drama, there should be cameras all over the place to collect information. Drama invites other people to check the decibel count, who is making noise at night. Like, all these things can be fucking done. People have to sign up for it, of course. And this is where Commandant comes in. You know, new rules. Commandant has the power. The apartment commandant that overwatches the entire apartment complex, basically, has the power to change the rules and enforce the rules in this just one block of people. That block of people have to, you know, sort of get along with those rules, you know, accept it as like, yeah, that makes sense. And to come up with those rules is pretty difficult. I'm a programmer. I should be able to pull off something out of my ass, you know? So I'm strategizing right now. My situation is not a restaurant, bro. My situation is me not being able to even level up in the face of capitalism. Capitalism, you would think, is a great thing because everyone has jobs and everyone earns income. And as long as you're a smarter person, you earn more income than other people. The problem with capitalism is that you have to enslave yourself. And it's actually not worth doing that if you are an intellectual human being, because enslaving yourself means that you don't have time for self-improvement. That's why I am technically couch potato, but in reality I'm improving myself and will detonate this whole fucking, or disarm this whole situation in the perfect manner that will be told for centuries to come, basically. Even though it's a very simple situation, because no one knows how to solve it, it creates basically a historical moment. Because if you don't know how to do things, and I come in and do things, I can just put a statue in the middle of entire country, and everyone's like, "Wow, you did that. We couldn't do it, but you did that." That's a historical moment right there. And I'm just purely leeching at this point that opportunity of getting viral, and right after I am disclosing everything about my drama right now. This is fucking nuts, bro. For Rosanna, bro, to be right there is a little bit fucking weird, but I love it, bro. It's great. No shame, guys. No shame. Feet.
Įsivaizduojam, kad tyla tai yra kažkas labai blogo,
Taip.
bent jau pauzė, tai yra,
Taip.
nors taip šiaip yra muzikinis ženklas.
Absoliučiai.
Silence to some people is a bad thing, but it's actually a musical sign. I wouldn't call this a musical sign. I think that is a little fucking weird thing to say. In music, you can either go up or go down to a certain degree until you start killing the song, and you don't want to do that because that's cringe, right? You can't go to a complete silence. You cannot go to a complete halt. You can like put up a word on a screen perhaps, and maybe you can scream out and leave a little bit of silence as the echo floods the room, but you still got to pick it up real quickly because you don't want to cringe this. All right. As well as you don't want to be too loud and obnoxious, of course. Everything has balance. And silence is kind of out of balance. People who disrespect silence, I understand. You know, they, again, want drama-hungry people who but some of them don't care. Some just don't care about the outside world, and if their opposition is weak, they will just attempt to defeat it with fear. Unfortunately, I'm not weak. Or so I will be put into a test. Who fucking cares, right? Let's go. I'm learning new things about noise and noise cancellation, of how to achieve that, and it's a tough one. All right, noise cancellation is one of the weirdest shit ever. That I've tried many tools and nothing really sticks to the fucking wall, basically, is the terminology that's literal to me, you know? Things just don't quite stick to the wall as I hope they would. Science, quiet, peace, all that shit, recovery time. Holy. We should talk about less of music, but prayer. That's where silence is. That's the maximum respect that you just give silence to. Remember some moment of silence. You know, it's called moment of silence. So I actually understand why silence has to be disrupted sometimes. You know, I'll chew on that drama if I win it. It's a pretty good deal. I'm not going to condemn it. The funny thing, what makes it so fascinating is that I could just be silent right now and just shut up and move on, right? I think I have to do that because it's going nowhere. I don't know. What can I say about silence anymore? There's one thing people see as an insight about silence, of like silence actually provokes people to show the real version of themselves. And it's sort of what this drama is all about, right? Because we cannot have a honest conversation, because we cannot pull down our emotions, because we cannot dive into out of silence, it actually keeps brewing our like lonely, deranged way of viewing the world, basically. Maybe the person who is, trying to intimidate me out of the way can still be a good person somehow. This still has the capacity, but doesn't have the resource to get there anymore. Like something got cut off. Like you still have to be empathetic when there's a chance to change someone for the better. Could be life-changing situation, and silence in that case is the enemy of like not knowing what to say. You try to kill silence every now and then because it's empty space, right? Like you want to fill empty space. You want to use the resource that is given. Silence is more of a resource, empty space stuff, right? So let's see if we get some kind of insight from this as well.
Jeigu šitą naują
I mean, there's anxiety feeling silence. That's just the opposite of silence. Okay.
penktą vietą ką?
Radijas kalba normaliai. Lenkijoje jau prasideda rėkavimai. Ir pas
And in Poland, people screaming, apparently.
mus jie įgauna didžiausią pagreitį. Kągi, kam rėkt?
12
Okay, the family business stuff going on. One more thing about silence and peace and quiet that I want, I desire. First of all, peace and quiet, like, just to put the weapons down and talk and solve the problem. Everything can be simple. And if people are doing the cancel culture and blowing shit up out of proportion and actually contributing to the fires, we have a problem. We have no capacity to go to silence. Everything is music, everything is action, everything is drama. There's not enough silence to actually relax and for me to, do my thing, do the thing that I do best. Instead, I have to actually learn extra skills because very likely the world is going to change around me and I will have to take extra responsibility to clean the slate. This is a potential threat to my life that I'll clean the slate. I'll have like ridiculous responsibilities. People are going to be exiled to Russia. Some crazy shit is going to start happening because of this one pin that destroys the House of Cards. I could just be the make it or break it pin on the House of Cards that people like keep on building for no fucking reason just because children. Children is a reason to do something in life. You just give in to the world that you can just make a person that will continue into the future, and it's like that's something to do. If it comes out without love, it will be a demon that will always be hungry for more and more love because it's never satisfied, and it grows to be a demon that will kill your family anyways. Your family is dead anyways. You try to make a child that will grow up to be a demon that will eat you alive. Anyways, no matter how much fucking effort you put into it, if there's no love in it, if the child is not satisfied, he will be a menace to society anyways. So is that a good idea? Now, I'm not guaranteeing you that. I just heard things about single mothers, basically. And I think single mothers is another capitalistic thing. We don't have to dissect that. But basically, there are situations where the family dynamic does not provide enough satisfaction to the child. They are hungry over and over again. People are stealing love from me. I'm satisfied. I'm actually in a position where I got enough love from people. Sometimes the fulfillment of love, the requirement of love, becomes your responsibility. You're draining yourself, you're hurting yourself, and you need more love to compensate for that. But what's happening below me is a great learning point, the pinpoint that would destroy the House of Cards, that the holiest thing is to make a family, make a baby. I'm sorry, bro. Doesn't always work. Especially when I know that the greatest hardship is just to start. Just start a relationship. that's the greatest hardship. You actually have to like demote yourself almost to crawl around and search for anyone who would want to interact with you. Like it's fucking dehumanizing behavior to just get a relationship because it's capitalism. You know, the only relationship is do you have money? And then you are attractive by default. You know, that's how relationships works. There's no way around it. It's money or no money. That's it, bro. So I realized that, and I just like wanted to do my thing. And it's the relationships come with hardships, and it's not worth it. It's not worth chasing women because it just doesn't work. Why do we go all the way from silence? Is because this drama, again, is a pinpoint of many dominoes to fall afterwards. Things can escalate exponentially. Things can be the center of all things to come. I can become like the biggest person in Lithuania the next day, basically. Who the fuck knows, right? Of like, who's this guy, right? And it's like, the answer is after this is solved. Whoever wants to solve this drama will get the answer of who I am. The moment it's solved, I can reveal my face because I'm satisfied with my life and I'm okay. The moment we expose every single neighbor and their perspective on me, it's the moment I can reveal my face. You know? The moment everyone is humbled around me, it's the moment I can walk as a free man. To some extent. You know, the first few days probably gonna be ass. Dominoes to come to face reveal on one side and fucking exile of human beings because the demons are brewing too fast as well. They're also exponentially growing, and it requires as extreme measures as Trump getting into office and starting work day one on how to eliminate basically the weed. Same has to go to Europe, same has to happen in Russia, same has to happen in China, and so on. This is a domino effect of crazy shit has to come into power to tell you of what you are doing wrong. Whether it's a presidential power, whether it's one person becoming famous, whether it's, Putin stopping his stupid fucking behavior. Stop farting, Putin, already. This fucking stinks, bro. Or whatever the fuck Chinese are up to, they will never tell us. Anyways, moving on.
Tarnybos. Tuo metu dar buvo jau
Okay, there's a lot of filler going on here, and I don't know if we're gonna get out of it, which is kind of good because I finished my story.
tapo automatiškai
I have a very simple habit of trying to make things meaningful, even if they're not. If like they're talking about some dude, I'll just pretend that that's me. Sometimes it hits pretty hard. Shiz up, basically, I would call it. Just shiz up the video so I can actually stomach it and enjoy it a little bit more.
Taip pat, jo.
Bet
Ten psichopatijos atvejis. Žmogus negali nemeluoti.
He cannot lie. Yep. So that's work ethic, not lying. It hit me, like I shizzed on this one. It's like, what? Taking poop on me, bro?
Ten visą tokį
It's like me, bro. They're talking about my comment, basically.
baudžiaką apie 154 ir prieš tos visus
See, like, it's kind of interesting to shiz because you never know when they literally talk about you, but they, like, fucking make it seem as they're talking about another person that's, like, not even relevant. Like, why are we talking about a third person right now? What the hell is going on, right?
Aš noriu nusiųsti jam DHL plytą, kad jis pats.
He hates Obama and everything surrounding Obama. It's kind of interesting. Obamites, he kind of calls them.
Aš tema nesuvokia, kad planetoje Žemė yra bloga.
Americans don't really understand that there is evil in the world. I mean, they live in such privilege, they can actually bathe in so much privilege. They definitely forget. Like, I'm talking to Americans, and I cannot get in touch with this. moral system that they have, where you can't literally say any bad things, or just they're gonna fucking flip, and just to shut down the door, like you get blocked very quickly.
Žiūrėk, jau dabar
Discussing Trump's victory right now.
Amerikos žemėlapiuose dieną išvengdami
Let's go drink that juice,
nemalonių
bro.
pojūčių,
Balance.
tokių kaip pilvo mūsų
Fucking goodness, bro.
vidinių. Mes
Oh, they're gonna drink. Let's go.
Čia yra šaltalanka. Jeigu prancūzų
They ended up talking about language, which is pretty relevant, right? Pretty much something that we can actually discuss. There's very hardly any moments where you can actually like have an opinion on something, so it's more like factoids. As I call it, filler. This is him getting unhinged about language. This is something else, right? Lithuanian language, bro. They have spent way too much doing things in Lithuanian that they have to self-aware on, self-reflect at this
kalba
point.
unikali tuo, kad kirtis
And finally, I can have opinion. Okay, how much time? All right, we can do this.
visada.
Well, he actually has a good insight of like we can actually emphasize any part of the word. It doesn't matter. Technically, in English, that's not even a thing. It doesn't even translate, actually. Accent? No, it's like emphasis on syllable. Okay. There's no real emphasis in Lithuanian, but we get taught in schools, and it's just too much, right? Of what is right and what is wrong, and this doesn't quite matter, actually. Syllable, right? Like, no one would say that. And yet there's no actual English words to tell the emphasis? I don't get it. Accentuation. Wow. That's kind of something. Stressing? Jesus. Literally, bro. They're already ahead of us, basically. They just call it stress and accent. Oh my god, it's so funny. The problem he's like complaining about is just like, well, it's stress and accent. People say words the way they want to say words. The only thing that actually matters is to pull people and teach our language as best as we can. Hopefully it has meaning in it of learning, right? And the meaning of being able to talk to Lithuanians, right? That should be the meaning of just like people should be interested in our culture and all that shit. And it feels like we're kind of hollow, like we're not very welcoming place at the moment. Our language is pretty, old and cruel.
tauta šviesioji mano pusė. Algirdo Ramanausko pusė.
Tikrai taip.
In this song, I'm telling you, he just started posting 2 months ago. This guy fucking shook our world, bro. This guy woke up and realized 2025 is his time to shine. Fucking crazy. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Alright, interesting. It's so just ethereal and mystical, and it's about nothing, basically. I don't know. Damn, the old school, alright. I mean, I would say that Algis has a water personality, and for him to turn into a crystal is kind of poetic, for sure. Now with Arunas, it's different. Because he's still brewing something, This is the one of those hit points, right? This is a starting point, very nice, of like, I have a talent of podcasting. I'm not even gonna say podcast. I'll be offended about that. Okay. Then just kind of like opens the range of people that he's talking to, and then blast it right now. So I'm actually gonna be happily subscribed, I think. This is something to look after, what face gonna drop next. It is a little bit skibbity around here with them faces, but it is what it is. Don't forget to check google.com, guys. Alright? I am sponsored, and you gotta fucking slam that search bar. Find those things, bro. Get those crystal names memorized, bro. A risk worth taking, bro.
Come to
You're already boring.
safe and then
Oh my god, he discovered 5 lines of
come
lyrics.
to rot. If they could drop in the comments.
What is this song about, guys? Please explain. Oh wow, I love this shit. We're already being made fun of, dude. This is already fucking red alert. It's about war and sadness. Isn't that fucking obvious?